Drat, I forgot to get voice mod up. One sec. Wait, what? Where did the king go? Okay, never mind. Alright. Welcome to Sprout League 2. Today we have Boulder versus Xian in the first of our two playoff semi-finals. And I have a cold, so I'll be probably speaking quite quietly throughout. I'm probably speaking less. I'm still able to commentate. I'm still able to see what's going on. But yeah. We have Combat Zone, Citadel of Steel, Warbox, and Halls of Grandeur as voting options for the first map. Yeah, apologies, but I completely forgot that this match was supposed to be today. I was operating on the assumption that it was meant to be tomorrow, like the other semi-final. Alright, Halls of Grandeur has been selected as the first map. Let the round begin! So, this time we have... What layout do we have? Hard to see from here. Xian focusing on the sheer grubs. Or Boulder going for... No, they're both going for roughly equal focus between the two. As we see from Boulder's screen that this is indeed the 5 lanes layout. I quite like this one. Well, I quite like all of the Halls of Grandeur layouts, even the one with the wallies on it, but I quite like this one. The 5 lanes and the few gaps between them where you're able to cross between the lanes introduces an element of strategy you don't often see. Which lane do you go down? Which lanes do you focus on? And when? Xian's grabbing up cherries. 1, 2, hoping to go for 3. That's if all 3 make it past all the dwarves. While Boulder is now preparing to move out with 22 to get some more corpses, presumably, yep. Be able to grab this cherry as well, I bet. As Boulder is imminently set to hit 49 Pikmin. He's actually taking 2 whole corpses home to hit 50. As Xian has now hit 50. And can use a, bomb storm to force Boulder out of his base. And slow down the collection of this corpse and this cherry. As Xian is now making his play, I think, for the first marble of the game. Probably multiple. Given how busy Boulder is at base, Xian could possibly get away with a spicy here. Yep! I called it! Now here comes Boulder with the counter spicy, using the lane to split, the lane wall to split, but the split fails as the bitter goes through the lane to full bitter -1. Now Xian keeping Boulder busy with some of the remaining spicy Pikmin. And Xian has a massive advantage here. That's 1, 2, 3 marbles on the way back. Although Boulder will probably be able to intercept at least 1. Yep, he's going for 1 now. But now Xian has brought the rest of his Pikmin over here. Unfortunately for him, the spicy has run out. He may just, however, be able to take this marble anyway, provided Boulder's Pikmin don't block his Pikmin from reaching the marble in time. Now Boulder has walked back to base and is getting his plucking game back on. And this pluckaphone for Xian is going to allow him to keep up. Although he's only using the Pikmin he got from the pluckaphone to try and just focus on making sure these all make it back. But these Matites Boulder has sent are buying him some precious time. 47 to 39. Boulder has a clear advantage. But Xian is trying to ensure that this advantage is minimized as much as possible. As it seems, Xian's Pikmin all the way back there, in the far-off lane to what is now Xian's right, have dug up the 4th and final marble Xian needs to win. Now it's just a matter of making sure it goes in, which Boulder will be unable to prevent. Xian 1, Boulder 0. So, the options this time are Volatile Metalwork, Citadel of Steel, Construction Fortress, and Frozen Forest. And Construction Fortress is the pick, so let the round begin. So, we have the island's layout. As both players are just growing with the dwarf bull mobs off down the sides. Boulder takes out the last one down the left. And now goes over to do the same on the right. It's unclear which party will ultimately go down. But Xian, I think, is preparing to head down... No, he's heading back to base from the left one. Now doing the same thing Boulder was doing. But I think a bit later. I think Boulder has a head start here. Boulder puts one of his Pikmin onto the bridge. Presumably, the point of this move is that in the event of a tie, 3 marbles to 3, Boulder will have a slight head start on the bridge. But of course, if Xian can get better positioning, he can outdo that. Now we see a very early spicy for Boulder that I would probably not have made in that situation. He loses 5 Pikmin to Boulder, and only now makes a serious play for the center marble. But he is actually getting away with it. Xian is just going to let him have it. Presumably because he knows he can still take the center marble from the other side. Given everything Boulder invested into his left, Xian can go down his right, his own left, and get away with something similar, given Boulder is now too busy plucking the rest of his Pikmin and jumping back into the fray. But alas, Xian has taken too long for that to pay off, so wisely, he is not spicing right now. But now Boulder is already using his second spicy, as Xian counter spicies, and is on his way to base rush Boulder, as Boulder is trying to take the faraway marble on Xian's side of that side. Boulder is now doing a counter base rush, as Xian is coming back the other way to intercept the yellow marble that Boulder dug up. A good bitter from Xian, and Boulder doesn't even try to bitter back. Okay, now he does. He bitters the marble. Xian successfully defends against Boulder's counter base rush, but his own has been stalled for now. Both players are plucking back their squads, as Boulder is now chasing after the marble, which it seems Xian is not reinforcing. Okay, no, he thought it was down the other way. It's down this way, and now Xian has figured that out and has come to reinforce it, and Boulder gives up and resigns. Xian 2, Boulder 0. So now we wait for both players to place their bans for round 3. So Xian bans Spider's Den, Bottomless Sewer, and Skips, while Boulder bans Deep Blue, Halls of Grandeur, and Rusted Rain. The options are Submerged Skirmish, a Return to Construction Fortress, Warbucks, and Frozen Forest. 10 seconds left, and Frozen Forest currently has 2 votes from both participants. And time is now up, and Frozen Forest is the pick. So both of our participants are ready, we can kick this off, but neither of them seem to be ready yet. Okay, Xian's ready. Is Boulder ready? It would seem not, as Boulder's too busy typing. Never mind, Boulder's now ready, so let the round begin! Why do I have to have a cold on match day? At least it's now and not during the final. But still, it being one of the semi-finals is still quite bad. But I'll still try and do as well as I can. Would ideally be doing more work towards my project today as well, like I was yesterday, but this cold has made my head spin. And my eyes hurt too, so I can't seriously focus on the work, which involves a lot of reading. And a lot of thinking about what I'm reading. But anyway, this Boulder has just not failed to attract the attention of that dwarf, which he kills anyway, and is now putting the rest of the Pikmin onto the gate. As Boulder has 4 dwarf corpses going back, only needs 3 to hit 50. So does Xian actually, also only is bringing 4 back despite only needing 3. Boulder has realised they only need 3. Xian has not. Despite Xian being the more experienced player, I guess he just wanted to prioritise putting them onto the gate. And now Xian is going to commit the rest of the Pikmin onto the gate, as Boulder is also going to do. I think Boulder's gate will finish first. Yes, it does. But just like a second or two before. As both players navigate this maze of... well, not a maze. I meant to say mess. This mess of blowhogs and dwarves. Snowball orbs, fiery, watery, toxic blowhogs. Still getting in the way of everything. But the positioning of this watery blowhog allows Xian to seemingly secure the center marble. As whenever Boulder tries to bring up his Pikmin to do something about this, the watery blowhog intervenes. Now Xian has gone back to pluck, but in doing so has temporarily ceded map control to Boulder. But Xian knows that the watery blowhog will allow him to pull through. Now Xian gets back to plucking quickly before Boulder can outpace him. Although Boulder will slightly outpace him anyway. very slightly, and similarly very slightly, Xian has secured the center marble. This means Boulder is going to need at least one marble from Xian's side to win. And Xian begins by taking the natural next best marble for Boulder to go for. Boulder, understandably, is trying to contest this. But the ball may now be too far in Xian's court. And by the ball, I mean the marble. That said, that's only going to remain the case if Xian can actually get over there and stop it. As Boulder is... Well, Boulder has been trying to take out this watery blowhog, so it will finally hinder him no more. It was the blowhog, after all, that won Xian the fight for the first and possibly also the second marble here. Meaning now, if Boulder is to win, he's going to need both of the remaining marbles from Xian's side of the map. And those ones are the hardest to take. They're the closest to Xian's base. The furthest from Boulder's. Xian just needs to go out to mid and take a right turn. Whereas Boulder has to take a whole convoluted path to get there. All the way down and then a left turn. Or out and then a left turn, then a right turn, then a left turn, then a right turn. Boulder, understanding the difficult situation he's in, makes his move. And Xian counter-spices in response. With a wall split. For whatever reason, Xian is not seriously going after... Okay, no, now he is. Oh, as I think Boulder got the better bit of there. Yes, yes he did. Now this marble has made it over to Boulder's side. And Boulder has secured another marble from... I think that was one from his own side. As Xian is desperately trying to make sure this marble crosses over to his own side before Boulder can get back there. But Boulder is going to be the one with a large advantage if he can secure this one. That said, the marble has now crossed the halfway point. And Xian, understandably, heads over as fast as he can, with the 15 Pikmin he was able to pluck in this time, as it crosses back across the halfway point. And I feel like this is probably just going to go back and forth. Back across the halfway point it goes once again, as Boulder arrives with only 13 Pikmin. And he sees that he will not be able to take this time. Xian 3, Boulder 0. Alright. Now we have the bands for round 4. Boulder Band's Deep Blue, Champions Court, and Emperor's Arena. While Xian Band's Spider's Den. Bottomless Sewer. And Skips. The options this time are Battle Yard, Citadel of Steel, Warbox, and a return to Frozen Forest. Battle Yard currently seems to be in the lead. Yep, there we go. Battle Yard is indeed the choice, so let the round begin. So, we have, yep, the smallest and most close quarters layout of Battle Yard, where if both players take the same number of corpses, they grow to 36. Just 36. Far from 50, far from even the 44 that you get in the other two layouts of Battle Yard. Greetings, Capon. Oh dear. Now both players have lost a significant number of Pikmin to both of the Cannon Beetles. Boulder and continuing to lose more. Now both players have some explosive thing each that they can fling at the other. Yeah, unfortunately it's not popping great. As I noted earlier in this stream, I have a cold. Oof, that sticky bomb managed to take out all 3 of those carriers for Boulder. I said cold. Yeah, sorry, I'm not speaking particularly loudly as a result. It has affected my voice. Well, it certainly feels like it's been cold maxing. This cold is very unusually bad as far as colds go. Virtually every day, I go for a walk at least an hour long, but today I couldn't. I think I've had that kind of sickness for quite some time. Well, it looks like Xian has been able to secure this corpse. That will grow him 8 more Pikmin on top of the 4 more Pikmin than Boulder he already has. In the end, Boulder's numbers of Pikmin are going to be... No, Xian's numbers of Pikmin are almost going to be double Boulder's. Almost, not quite. But that's still going to be very much something to keep in mind. Because Boulder's using the Stun Storm to try and make it to the cherries. Now that all of the Dwarf Bulwark corpses have been yoinked. And the only potential thing to grow with remaining on this map is the second Cannon Beetle, which Boulder is not in a position to easily secure. Boulder is hoping he can get a +5 from these cherries. But really, I think I'm starting to think Boulder should have focused more on the Cannon Beetle, try to collect it, because now Xian has so many more Pikmin, and taking the first one, he'll easily be able to intercept the second one. And Boulder understands this perfectly well, so he's currently still just playing for more cherries. That's all he can really do. Xian is probably going to have this Cannon Beetle no matter what. So Boulder's just seeing how many cherries he can get and how much they may be able to make up for it, if at all. But Xian has also been gathering a lot of cherries, as it becomes very apparent very quickly that Xian having more Pikmin also allows him more reliable access to the cherries, and a nigh insurmountable advantage in winning contests for cherries. The only way Boulder can get cherries is if he takes them when Xian is there. The timer was seriously starting to run down, but Xian managed to collect in a marble, ensuring that if the timer does run down, Xian will be the one who wins. Now Xian does indeed have double Boulder's Pikmin count after Boulder just lost 1 Pikmin to something explosive. But Xian is not seeking to win by letting the timer run down. He wants this corpse, he wants this marble, he wants 1 more marble from mid, and then he wants to finish up with the pocket. He considers that to be a better, faster use of his time to win. He'd probably win either way, but he wants to win faster. Boulder has no realistic means to contest right now. The cherries are the only potential way forward, and Xian is contesting him for all of them. Successfully, I might add. Now it's 11 Pikmin to 30. I do not think there is a path forward for Boulder. Not a realistic one, that is. So Boulder at this point is holding out for an unrealistic one. As long as it's still technically possible, it's on the table. because nothing else is. Well, about that. XianTwa, Boulder 0. Now we move on to our 5th and possibly last round. Xian bans spiders down bottom sewer and skips, same as last time. Boulder bans deep blue, same as last time. And has 2 other ban options available. Opinion on the thing. The thing? You're gonna have to fill me in on what the thing is. If I did know it, then I forgot what it is. I might remember I might remember the thing. I just don't remember that it is the thing. Like, I might remember what you're referring to, but I don't remember the thing being it. Well, looks like we're going back to Battle Yard, so let the round begin. What a shame. RFE the thing. You would always be remembered if you were ever remembered. And you would ever be remembered if you were ever known. Well, it looks like we have the exact same layout as last time. And this time Boulder is determined to play it better. But Xian is also determined to stop this from coming to pass. That is another Pikmin lost for Xian, but he's currently monopolizing the cherries. As Boulder proceeds to get most of his Pikmin crushed. It's over. With a final score of 5-0, Xian has won the match. Talk about insult to injury. Well, with that, Xian becomes our first finalist of Sprout League 2, while Boulder awaits a chance to play against the loser out of SVU and Anto in the bronze match to decide 3rd and 4th place. The other of those two will be going on to face Xian in the final, and both of those will be taking place next week. Until